Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson. Welcome again to my channel. It is Thursday. Happy Thursday of 2024. It is August 1st. And yeah, let's say it together. Praise God from whom our blessings flow. And you knew at some point it would be Joe Frazier against Muhammad Ali. In today's arena, J.D. Vance versus Kamala Harris. Let the games begin. Yeah, old school. Yeah, let's get into that. And let's get into this hostage release. Yeah, good old Joy. Yeah, boy. He got the hostages home. They made a deal. They struck a deal. So we're going to decode that thing because it's got some rumblings and connections, I believe, to Brittany Griner, who was released from prison also back in the day. So let's start with this chair. Let's start with this here.
Throughout her career, the vice president has been repeatedly forced to deny that her relationship with Brown was the defining step in her political career. The fling fizzled decades ago, but in the years since, Harris has struggled to shirk her association with Brown, whom she later described as an albatross hanging around my neck. While their relationship has often been described as an affair, Brown was separated from his wife Blanche Vitero for more than a decade when he and Harris dated in the mid-1990s. Their steamy past resurfaced in January 2019 when Brown published an op-ed in the San Francisco Chronicle with the headline, "Sure, I dated Kamala Harris. So what?" Brown wrote, "Yes, we dated. It was more than 20 years ago. And I certainly helped with her first race for district attorney in San Francisco. I have also helped the careers of House Speaker Nancy."
Now, you know, if I was running the paper, my headline would have been, "Ain't no shame in my game." Straight up. Ain't no shame in my game. That's right. Yeah, my man. He was dating her back in the day. Right? And, hey, you know, there he is. Papa don't take no mess. Right? Yeah, check me out. I'm not here to hide it. Right? Dating Kamala. She was 29 and he was 60.
Harris.
That's right. He was 29 and she was 60. So people, let me take a little dive into this before we get into this hostage thing. Now, there are some people on the planet that are chosen to go in certain directions. Once I got into college, in Christian college, I met people from around the world, right? And customs are very important. Some people, they are in customary marriages, that is, their parents tell them who they should be marrying in the future. You know what I'm saying? You just got customs, cultures that they just do it like that. And many times it works out. Some people are happy in it, some people ain't. But then you got this arranged thing with the status quo. And I've met that well-to-do millionaire crowd where they say, look, you in high school, you in college, you got a daughter, I got a son. We gonna keep the money in the family. And they pair them up. You feel me? Then you got those who are recruited for either sports or colleges or what have you. And some of them say like, you know what? You got me out here at this prestigious college or university and it's 1-800 hookup. Some realize it when they get there, and some make plans as early as high school for the college of their choice. And look, you heard the stories. Mamas and daddies contribute to certain colleges, and the son and daughter get in. Now, I'm not saying that anything here fits what VP Harris has done. I just want to give you an example of what I know and what I've seen. And if I had known some things back in the day, I'm not saying I would have done it that way. All I'm saying is that for you to get where you need to go, you got to have a plan, or somebody already had a plan that's going to initiate to work in your favor. That's just the real world. It can be ugly, it can be great, or it can just fall into your lap. You make a choice. Kamala, with her background, you know, being in Canada, I forgot what other city she was in, and then she finally going to the CU, whatever that is, HBC college. If I'm not mistaken, it was predominantly black and still predominantly black there. I say she made a choice. She knew exactly where to take herself to get what she wanted. The more and more I studied her decades ago, the more and more I could tell she was projected. Was she called and chosen to get to the place where she's at now? I don't know. But I do know that as I studied her, I saw some similarities that I see in men and women who have arrived. And you know what? Again, ain't nothing wrong with it if you keep it a certain way. Now, she ran around with this brother at 60 years old. To be fair, he was already 10 years, not divorced, but 10 years removed from his wife. You know how you live in separate places, that sort of thing. It was that sort of thing. So, you know, San Francisco black mayor, Willie, he was married, yet he wasn't living with his wife. Okay? But by the same token, he became a mentor, so to speak. She was 29. Again, he's 60. In this particular video, it's brought out that he's saying, look, I don't take it to the next level in terms of dating a woman unless she comes after me. Now, that's neither here nor there. We don't know. But all we know is that they did date. And then you can tell from the clip, he's like, hey, so what? Ain't no big deal. She was of age. She was aspiring. That's what she wanted. I was available. Boom. You never know what the clear aim and objective is. But this brother had clout. San Francisco mayor. In fact, he was San Francisco's first mayor. Okay? He was able to utilize his position to get her two, quote unquote, alleged, according to this report, patronage jobs. One paying $72,000, other paying $95,000. Look, baby, it is what it is. And he bought a BMW. That's what the research showed. Now, what they do behind closed doors, if they did or not, that's their business. They had a relationship. But let me tell you something. When you make a plan from, let's say, sophomore in high school to early college, and you kind of see how things go, and you in the right college with the right hookups, that sort of thing, sometimes you need an edge. You feel me? Whether you got political aspirations or job, business aspirations, or whatever, overseas contacts, you need a mentor and a hookup. So, in my mind, that's what this worked out for her. Two alleged jobs given to her. But here's the thing. She ain't nothing to laugh at because she paid her dues. Now, how she paid her dues, again, I'm not going to get into the ugly part because I don't care about her bedroom alleged whatever she did. She went to college. She proved herself. So far, I haven't heard no research where mama and daddy was paying the dean or giving the college $25,000 a year so she can maintain her A and B, whatever, C plus average. What I can say is that from my research, Kamala paid her dues. Then she became DA, and maybe at that point she's like, you know what, I want to be, I want to grow. So she became DA, senator. You see what I'm trying to say? But here's the deal, people. When you got a mentor like this guy who helped people, like he said, allegedly Nancy Pelosi and other people, that means he got some clout and some contacts. If there's anything I know about watching politics the last four plus decades, if your hookups got contacts, that's currency. I'm going to say it again. If your hookup got contacts, that's potential currency. Just his name and his recommendation can catapult her to be in position to get somewhere. However, if she go and get herself a 4, 6, or 8 year degree program, she come qualified to make him look good. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get lost in the sauce about this thing. And I ain't justifying whatever it is she done in the past, because I know she got a questionable past when it come down to locking up brown and black folks back in the day and putting mothers and fathers in jail because of kids' truancy. I get that. But what I'm focusing on right now is when you in this world game, you get yourself a mentor and, some folks might say allegedly a sugar daddy, and you get somebody who got position that can give you and project and propel you somewhere. You feel me? Don't tell me some of y'all ain't never done it. Everybody got a family member or two or a cousin that done it or doing it right now. And hey, she got blessed. She used her wits, her charm. And at some point, she said, you know what? Look, whether she said it to him or anybody else she was dealing with, she said, you know what? It's about 5 or 8 other candidates out there. I need some clout. I need some backing. I need some money. I need some sponsorship. That's what people like this can do. So if you out there playing the game, female with a man or man with a female, and that person got some clout, you got to inventory how you going to get to the next level. So when you run for that office, guess what? They can make some phone calls. And you can go there. I ain't saying you got to label them, but hey, all I know is this, how the game is played. You then follow his lead, talk to that person, and guess what? Money rolling like a river, and contacts is coming out. And now that gives you the edge when you're doing what? You're running for office. That's how I go, baby. That's how I go. There are plenty of times I know I should have been in management with a certain, and how would you say? There are plenty of times in corporate offices I should have been with certain jobs I had. But I didn't have that hookup. I didn't have that hookup. I had friends on certain levels. And I had the best numbers in the region when it came down to restaurant. I'm the only one that I know of to win Store Manager of the Year 3 times for corporate and independent owners in restaurant. But I didn't have a hookup. So I had to analyze what is it I could have done different. I don't sleep with nobody, but I need a kingpin. I need somebody who can make some phone calls and say, hey, my only opportunity back in the day, is a true story. I was getting off the plane in Hawaii. I was going to a convention for restaurant where I had just won Manager of the Year. And this short guy walked up to me, and he was the brother of Chicago Cubs player Davey Lopes. And he walked up and he gave me the opportunity of a lifetime to run all of his restaurants in it. I believe he was out of Atlanta at the time. And I turned it down. That was the only time that I was recruited to that level where I could have been running 8, 9, maybe 10 restaurants, and he owned some other stuff at the time. Look him up. Davey Lopes used to play for the Chicago Cubs. His brother approached me and said, hey, I heard all about you in Chicago. You the best thing in Chicago in terms of restaurant management. I want you to come and work for me and run my businesses for me. And like a knucklehead, I turned him down. You never know when your ship coming in. But I qualified myself. So I'm saying, I believe to a certain extent she qualified herself and she played the game. So now she got senator. She played the game. She questionably probably didn't do it right in some people's eyes. I get it. And then boom, she became VP. Even though she might not have been the best qualified, she had her history. Are you listening to me? She had her history with not just him, but other people in a certain circle. And other people who probably ran against her, they just didn't have that juice, so to speak. You know how we talk in the street. She just didn't have that juice. And she just happened to be considered the minority and a female. So everything was in, look, she was riding the wave, baby. That's how you have to look at life. It's just what it is. The flip side of the coin is that, hey, you can have minimal contact, wear out your kneecaps, and pray to the Lord that he give you a position. But even then, the devil is keeping you from getting it because, look, this type of clout here, a lot of these folks, they ain't thinking about Jesus. I'm just keeping it real. So that's just my observation in a nutshell. So I'm gonna go on to this. You knew at some point there would be a J.D. Vance VP versus Kamala Harris VP thriller in the Manila. Like I said when I first started this thing. Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali. Let's get ready to rumble, baby. So let's go with this thing here. J.D. Vance.
Dishonest thing that Kamala Harris has done, and it is a long list, my friends, is that she helped cover up Joe Biden's declining mental capacity for years. It's actually sad. Putin, Xi, Kim Jong-un, all these dictators, they have been sitting in private rooms for 3.5 years, licking their chops because we have a president who can't actually do the job. Now, anyone who's too blind to see Biden's incompetence or too dishonest to admit it is not fit to serve as commander-in-chief. She lied to us. She lied to all of us, and it's unacceptable. And you know, they never give President Trump an easy path. Kamala Harris, the Democratic elites are trying to install her as their new nominee without her receiving a single vote for president.
Now, J.D. Vance just came on board. He got his boxing gloves on. Put it in the comments section. What you think? Was this an uppercut or a right hook? Come on. There he is at the border. He about to hit again. This round 2. It's only 3 rounds, y'all. We're going to keep score. Here we go.
So much, and thanks to all of you guys for doing what you do. It's hard to believe until you see it with your own eyes just how bad the policies of the Kamala Harris administration have been when it comes to the southern border. They started their administration. Kamala Harris came into office making promises, and she kept those promises to open the American southern border. They stopped deportations on day 1. They stopped construction of the border wall on day 1. We see the border wall sitting here, ready to be completed behind us, and that can't happen because of Kamala Harris's administration. They reinstated catch and release, and they stopped remain in Mexico. So all of these asylum claimants who come to our border, they can now get released into our country because they're not forced to stay in Mexico while we adjudicate their asylum claims. And we have to remember that as terrible and idiotic as these policies were, they cause real human beings to suffer. A lot of you know my story.
So he came out swinging again. And you know I got to point out that purple shirt. Speaking without speaking. Is that coincidence? I did a video a couple of weeks ago. I forgot what color tie he had on. I think one day he had on a Tiffany blue tie. The next day I think he had on a purple tie. So he's swinging with the purple. Phoenician is the purple. Let's go down the road here. What was that? Was that an uppercut? All right, let's see what we'll get here.
In 2022.
All right, hold on.
23.37%.
We're going to go number 4. Go to the 149 one. We're going to finish JD's testimony about this drug crisis that has happened in relation to the border crisis, baby. He letting Kamala know, I'm the real VP, baby.
My story, and I have been a little kid waiting at the bedside of his mother, angry that his mom took something that she shouldn't have taken, but praying to God, please Jesus, let her wake up. And the unfortunate truth is, because of the poison that Kamala Harris has let come into this country, there are a lot of those prayers that won't be answered. There are a lot of parents that won't wake up, because when you take fentanyl, you don't wake up. It takes your life. So there are a lot of kids out there who have been deprived of second chances with their moms and dads. There are a lot of moms and dads out there who will never see their kids walk down the aisle because of what Kamala Harris has unleashed at this border. The human toll of this is the thing that we cannot forget. We have got kids who can't learn in schools because their kids have been overwhelmed with migrant children who shouldn't be there. We've got hospitals where the wait times have exploded because illegal aliens are standing in front of the line of American citizens. The media needs to
Look, he owned it, baby, he owned it. And look at this here, like the rock colors, red and gold. See the outstretch of the red, like the sun, and I believe that's purple. Are they speaking without speaking? But yeah, he hitting hard, I'm gonna have to decode this later on, that 989898, because Trump talking about doing that Bitcoin. We're gonna have to, we're gonna decode that later on. But let's move on. So now we're going
with less than 100 days.
We're going to a continuation of this. We're gonna start at the 39 point, and we're gonna see a comeback by, I believe, Kamala on all this. Check it out.
The presumptive Democratic nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, not shying away from this issue herself. Her campaign releasing a new ad attacking Trump after he effectively torpedoed a bipartisan border bill earlier this year.
On the border, the choice is simple. Kamala Harris supports increasing the number of Border Patrol agents. Donald Trump blocked a bill to increase the number of Border Patrol agents. Kamala Harris supports investing in new technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Donald Trump blocked funding for technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. There's two choices in this election: the one who will fix our broken immigration system, and the one who's trying to stop her.
The border likely to remain front and center as the campaign rolls on. And News Nation's Allie Bradley is on the ground for Vance's border.
So what you think? Did she do a good job? Came back? You know, you can run ads all day. When the damage is done, all you have to do is, like Trump and Vance do, show it and show the numbers. So I don't think the ad's going to do it. What do you think? What do you think? Now here we have this prisoner swap. This thing is deep, y'all, because I was able to go and do some due diligence, some research. So I want you to enjoy this part, because the prisoners that were released, I look at these numbers and they show Barack Obama allegedly. Watch this.
Back in 2020, Evan Gershkovich, simply doing his job as an American reporter in Russia, arrested last March, very quickly accused of espionage, and then finally convicted last month in July on those charges and sentenced to 16 years in a penal colony. Now, that sentence last month came really as not as a shock, but certainly a realization that it could be a long journey before getting him home. But at the same time, we knew that the Russians would have to convict him before they could start talking about releasing him in exchange for other Russians. So this is tremendous news from the Biden administration, confirming that Paul Whelan and Evan Gershkovich will be part of this exchange. We are awaiting more details, others who may be released, not just from the Russian side.
Yeah, here we go. Now check out his Biden. He glowing, he basking in the sun on this one. He gonna show his pearlies too. Here we go.
This is a good day.
What's the signal on the phone, sir? What did you say when they answered the phone on the other side?
I said, welcome almost home.
How do you countries, these so-called abductor states, from simply taking more Americans in order to get more of their prisoners home? How do you end these perverse incentives, sir?
Well, advising people not to go certain places. Tell them what's at risk, what's at stake.
Negotiations, and can you speak to the complexity of working with 6 countries to secure these risks?
Well, look, I'm not going to take the time now, but I'll do this later in the week. I particularly owe a great sense of gratitude to the Chancellor. The demands they were making of me required me to get some significant concessions from Germany, which they originally concluded they could not do because.
Now let's read some things. We see Joe still stammering a little bit. After a historically complex month-long negotiation involving more than 6 countries and 24 prisoners, the Biden administration on Thursday announced it had secured the release of 3 American citizens from Russia, including the Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershokovich, I believe, veteran Paul Whelan, and Russian-American radio journalist ALSU Kermasheva, all of whom are expected to arrive in American soil by tonight. The 3 will return to the United States as part of a 24-hour prisoner swap, one of the largest since the end of the Cold War, among the United States, Russia, Germany, and 3 other Western countries. The deal is a significant and hand-fought win for the Biden administration, which has secured the release of more than 60 hostages or wrongful detainees from around the world over the past 3 years. Few cases have received a similar level of prominence or scrutiny as the ones in Russia, a longstanding geopolitical rival of the U.S. with a history of taking and trading foreign detainees. So we have a picture there. Paul Whelan, Alan Komoskovitz. But yeah, here we go. And Paul Wiener, Evan Aslur, ALSU. Yeah, they're coming home. So praise the Lord. But check this out. This made me think about this lady here, Brittany Griner, who a lot of folks believe looked like Barack Obama. A lot of folks believe that. They say she looked just like Barack Obama. Oh yeah, I'll go back on a video of that a little bit later. But check it out. She's a WNBA star. Okay, remember back in the day, she was held for 294 days, from February 17th to December 8th. Watch these numbers. December 8th, 2022 is when she was released, right? December 8th. December 8th. That's right, December 8th, 2022. Subtract that from today's hostage release of 8/1. The difference is 602 days ago. Drop the 0, you get 6'2". Who's 62 years old? Barack Obama. In the future, you're gonna start seeing a lot of 63. Why? Because Barack Obama's birthday is August 4th. And a lot of folks believe he's the Antichrist. But let's go forward. Check this out. This is her birthday, Brittany Griner. October 18th, 1990. When you take October 18th of 2023, right? That's her last birthday, versus 12/8 of 2022 is when she was released. The difference was 44 weeks and 6 days. Barack Obama was the 44th president, and 6 is man. Satan's trying to kill man, right? Or 666 is the devil's number. Is this coincidence? But check this out. Paul Whelan. This guy's coming home. He's coming home. He born in Ottawa, Ontario. Okay? former United States Marine, just convicted of multiple counts related to larceny, they said. He was arrested in Russia on December 28th. Let's go here. He was born March 5th, 1970. Watch this. March 5th, 1970. If we take March 5th of 2024, just had a birthday, versus today, the day he's going to be released, August 1st, the difference is 4 months and 4 weeks. Barack Obama was the 44th president. Come on, man. Now look at this. Whelan. He went to prison December 28th of 2018. Okay? Accused of spying. December 28th. Now check this out. Take December 28th of 2024. Subtract it from today's date, August 1st. The difference is 4 months and 4 weeks. Come on, man. That's impossible, ain't it? 4 months and 4 weeks in relation to his birthday, and then 4 months and 4 weeks in relation to the day he was, what? This is crazy. Went to prison, 12/28, just brought the 12/24 anniversary, 4/4. And check this out. Here's the other gentleman, Ivan Gershokovich. That's his birthday, October 28th, 1991. He was born that day. And he was detained on March 29th of 2023. March 29th. You take March 29th of 2024, just had an anniversary when he was detained. Subtracted from the day, August 1st of 2024, you get what? 4 months and 4 days. There's your 44 again. Barack Obama's 44, was the 44th president. People, if you enjoy the work, my name is Friendship Pearson. Please share. Please do a thumbs up. Please share. Please do a thumbs up. And yeah, back in the day, like I said, and you looked at the history of Kamala Harris. Did she do what typical people do? I'd say 50% of the world gets a hookup or gets a mentor and gets their way to a projected position. I know she got a shady past allegedly, but hey, at least she went to college and paid the dues. She got the HBAC, she went to the colleges, she made the connection, she joined the sororities. Again, I'm not into the sororities. I don't believe that God wants us in that, but I'm trying to just specify. She did the stepping stone. And then, like I said, if you got a lot of competition, your mentor needs to have some contacts for financial possibility and get you exposure in the media to get your name out there. You might not be the most qualified. However, you got the right sponsors and the money rolling, and you promise to do some favors for the right people, the odds are you're going to get that position. I'm Friendship Pearson. I'd like to have your comments. Take care.